Good evening, and we are here to watch Jim and Thera face off in their second game in the Pyre Winter 2022 tournament. Thera is currently, I believe, 6-0, and Jim is 4-2, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
I believe so, yeah.
Yes. And I am also here with Gigasaurus, who's going to co-host with me.
Good evening, everybody.
All right, so we will let the both of you get to it. Good luck, have fun, and Giga and I are going to head off to the broadcast channel.
Cool. Thank you.
All right, hello, Giga. How are you?
There we go.
Okay, first roll almost went off the table.
That's why I always just hit the R button.
Okay, let me zoom out so we can see the draft picks.
When I started using TTS, I was told, yeah, you can just roll a die like you would in real life. And then later on I discovered, or you can just hit R for randomize. And it's like, I'm just doing this forever.
And then your die goes off the table like it does in real life. Okay, so it looks like we have a general for Jim.
Yeah, sure. That's pretty standard. It works pretty well.
Pretty straightforward choice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and let's see who Thera picks for his leader. I'm going to guess, and I was just about to say I'm going to guess Spymaster.
Does Thera like Spymaster?
Yeah, I just had a feeling.
That's fair. So I'm gonna guess we might not see a Zealot this game. I feel like.
You think?
I don't think Zealot goes well with Spymaster. I've noticed that Jim doesn't actually seem to take Zealot as much lately because I think he's figured out some of his fairly common units do well against it. Wizard in particular, like we discussed last week.
Okay, so now we have a Life Leech.
And I think Jim's really starting to like taking Soldier a lot too.
Yeah, Soldier is definitely crept up
because it's just such a reliable unit.
I think in the next season, when I tone it down just a little bit, it might not be quite the default choice that it is right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see who his second pick is going to be.
He's grabbing all the stuff at once. I usually... I don't think he does that, but I always just grab bags.
Oh, yeah, I tend to take straight from the bag. And, Wizard, okay. Alright, taking out one of the soldier's counters with that unpreventable damage.
And, he says he doesn't like seeing when he's playing Zealot as well. I assume because of the chip damage.
The chip damage, and also because the Zealot encourages clustering.
Right. Okay. Yeah. True.
And yeah, as you can see on the screen, the splash damage for the Wizard can be pretty nasty.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I'm gonna guess if Thera's gonna take some Soldier counterplay here.
What do we see left as a Soldier counterplay? I mean, I always say Shadow, but I don't.
I was gonna say your favorite Shadow's still there. Knight's still there.
Knight is a good counter. I'm guessing Knight. Knight seems to be a more popular choice.
I think this is a more straightforward unit than the Shadow is.
Yeah,
since the Shadow basically has reversed effects.
Yeah, people have not quite wrapped their heads around the Shadow yet, I think. Oh, he is taking Ooze. Okay.
Maybe to disable the Wizard?
Maybe. I have to admit, I did not see that coming.
Yeah. Alright, so Thera took Assassin. Let's talk about my opinions about Assassin's starting position. I have realized over the last week or so, Assassin loves to be on the outside.
Yes.
because that gives it 3 units that it can turn 1 infiltrate.
Yep.
Whereas if it's on the inside, there's only 1 unit that it can turn 1 infiltrate from the back.
Yeah, I am a big fan of putting the assassin on the corners. Always have been. And, the other thing I've noticed is it tends to not be seen as often.
Yeah, like in the game that I lost the assassin.
Yeah, people tend to miss that infiltrate when it's on the corner.
So Thera has not yet taken any soldier tech. So I'm going to guess in that case what's going on is he's assuming Spymaster was stunned.
That's true. The Spymaster is all by itself anti-soldier tech. So Jim is going Shapeshifter, is that right?
Looks like it, yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Maybe as a response to the assassin?
Possibly. My TTS is getting all crazy again.
Especially because it's in the opposite position, so although you can't really turn 1 attack the same way, he can get into that same threaten multiple units position with a turn 1 empowered Hawk.
Yeah. And also the Shapeshifter is pretty beefy, so it's, with 5 health, so it can survive that backstab from the assassin a little bit better.
Yeah. So, just thinking about the Spymaster Soldier tech, it has the interesting effect similar to Wizard, which is the Spymaster's ability does not require the attack to go off on the stunned unit. So if you have a unit adjacent to both the soldier and the unit the soldier is supposed to be protecting, you stun the soldier, you can attack the unit the soldier is supposed to be protecting instead.
Well, actually, no. I think the stun, if you look on the screen, the stun specifically, it has to be.
Oh, and I forgot how it works. Okay, right, yes.
Yeah, because that's
never mind, my mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mistake. And there goes your favorite anti-soldier tech as well.
Oh.
So
interesting. This is a very atypical selection for Jim across the board, I think.
Well, I would like to point out, unless Thera takes Zealot here, I was correct. There's no Zealot in the game.
That is correct. You might make it. I don't think Thera is a huge Zealot player.
I'm going to guess with that team, we're about to see a Knight.
Yeah, I agree. I still think the Knight's coming up.
He didn't take it as early as I might have expected for any soldier tech, but I also think Assassin Knight Ooze Light Leech is just a pretty generically good semi-aggro team.
It's certainly
it's not a full aggro team.
That would make me nervous. And there we go. There's the Knight. Yeah, that is a very aggressive team right there. With the Ooze's ability to shut down other units' empowered ability, which again is anti-soldier attack, slightly, because it would keep it from getting the defense token. It won't stop it from tanking, but it does block the defense token.
Well, Thera's about to have a headache, because he just shuffled together his orders and tactics by accident.
Jim is glancing through the rules.
Maybe he's trying to do the same thing I have to check every time, which is card then pyre.
Yes. Card then pyre.
Maybe that can be what he's checking for. Or I guess I don't check for it, but my opponents always check for it. And after a while, I just remembered because they always check.
Yeah, it's step 4, drawing cards, and then to draw your first tactic, and then the pyre is step 7.
Yeah. Do I like that Ooze position? That's fine, I guess. I often seem to end up putting mine on the outside, but I do think towards the middle is a little better for it.
Yeah, I mean, since its order is a little bit on the slow side, I think it is a touch better to have it in the center.
Yeah.
Got a slightly better chance of getting it off, and it is a pretty effective order.
If you're getting range, yeah.
Just putting it up on the screen now.
2 damage, stun, goop token, and it's a charge, even if it is only 1 movement.
Yeah, so it's a little bit more restrictive in terms of mobility, but when you pull it off, it's pretty nasty.
I guess we see Life Leech on the outside because so much of this stuff has such high mobility that it doesn't care anyway. Possibly.
That could be. It's got a very mobile order, and obviously all 3 of its tactics are really quite mobile. So
Parasite's not exactly mobile, but it's really easy to attack with it. Yeah. I'll be back in 1 second. I just wash my cut before it starts caking with sugar.
Alright, so I've just started putting the card viewer on slideshow so people can just kind of get a look at the cards in the game. Open up something specifically. Alright, so the wizard has advanced a little bit. Hasn't taken a control point.
And then back.
But it looks like Jim might be seeing something. Like he's playing.
So it's a night jump lead, moving wizard instead of soldier. So for that position, his wizard can strike the ooze Spymaster Knight Leech with 1 attack.
Yep.
That might be what that goal is.
That seems reasonable. It will chip away at those ooze tokens, which, the more you can do, the better.
And by not moving the soldier to the control point, he did not lose the defense on the general as well.
Right. Exactly. Good point.
Especially since this does make general vulnerable to infiltrate.
Right. And this is where some wizard counterplay comes in. If Thera sees that threat, just moving the ooze out of the way will be enough to counter it. So really,
And way back, he could even do one better than that. He could move ooze straight up next to wizard and drop some ooze on it. Make it hurt. Make it harder for it to use its ability.
Thera is pondering his options.
Mm-hmm. Seems to think as deeply as I do.
Thera can take some long turns. That's for sure. That is definitely, but something he does. But given his
is that what he's doing? He is doing what he.
I'm sorry.
And did do exactly what I was. He ended up doing exactly what I said.
He moved his ooze up, and then dropped a goop token on the wizard, which means the wizard now needs to take an empowered action to get that ooze off before it can take an empowered action.
And the bonus ooze is now sitting in the card draw space where it's going to be really quite hard to dislodge.
Yeah.
And it could threaten, say, soldier gooplash, move on to flag.
Yeah.
Which would be pretty.
The biggest risk
scary
right now is Shadow stunning it.
Mm-hmm.
Which would make it incredibly vulnerable.
Although I struggle to see how he managed 2 damage at once in that tactic. Given even with Shadow stun.
Yeah, he would need a follow-up tactic. That's true.
Because the general is not close enough to immediately attack.
Right. and he doesn't have. Well, it depends on his tech. If he has the soldier tactic, the leader tactic to attack, he might be able to do it. Let's bring that.
Oh yeah, soldier tactic would do it. General tactic would do it. Wizard tactic would do it.
And it might be worth it to get rid of that ooze.
Jim has a question. The answer is yes. The goop will still matter even if it's stunned, even if the ooze is stunned. Correct? Because Jim is the one asking, so he's checking about whether the wizard is still influenced by it.
Yes.
So
status effects only impacted by the unit they are on. Goop is goop.
Unless he was asking about the attacking the stunned ooze, but I feel like that wasn't the intent. That wasn't the intended question. Granted, I'm not sure what the concern would.
Yep,
is that a soul drain?
That is a soul drain. That's exactly what I was expecting. Stuns the ooze. Shadow gains a life.
That's a pretty nice turn one soul drain, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Around one soul drain, I mean.
The question is, how is he going to follow up on that? Taking out the ooze right now would be a pretty big play.
It would be. I think it would require the tactic, though. If you want to see it.
It would absolutely require the tactic. I don't see 2 damage here.
It might well be worth it. Oh, wait. Lead would do it.
Lead would do it. That's right.
Move the general off the control point, unfortunately, but Wizard takes the empower attack, uses up the goop. Shadow does a normal attack and is not affected by the...
Right, because the Shadow with a normal attack still does damage. It's only the empowered attack that moves it away. I mean, or the Wizard could attack twice, or the Shadow could attack twice. But you probably want to use the Wizard, the empower attack, to get rid of the goop.
Yeah. I certainly don't think it would be an empowered move with the Shadow, because that would move it off the control point.
Yeah.
And he currently has initiative, though maybe he'd want to keep initiative, but then he doesn't get to do the damage, so... So, okay, yeah, my mistake. A lead would do it, a lead would do it, but I'm pretty sure that's the only way outside of tactic.
Yep, I think you're right. And we haven't seen a lead yet from Jim.
We haven't.
So he might well have one.
2 in 3 chance of at least one, I want to say. Is that true? Feels like it should be.
You and Jim are way better at that kind of math than I am. He has 13 tactics left. 13 orders left and 2 leads.
Technically, the probability of at least one would be 1 minus 1 over 15 factorial divided by 10 factorial, maybe? Something like that? I'd have to check. I need to go stare at it, to be honest. But
it's not unlikely. There's an okay chance he's got it in there. And the beautiful thing about the general is because all of its unit activating abilities are zone and not adjacent, either lead will let him do it.
Mm-hmm. Although that will unfortunately force him off the control point in each case.
It will, but he'll still have 2 actions left, so he can get back on there if he wants.
True.
And he's the only one who has any presence right now.
This is also true, yeah. And a diagonal move would be enough to get the shapeshifter to the initiative token as well.
Okay, so what do we got?
Or the flag, actually, because Hawk.
Okay, so he's going to stun somebody.
I'm going to guess Shadow.
That's who I would stun.
But maybe he could stun Wizard if he wants to keep Ooze there, maybe? Or the Goop there? I don't think it's what I would do, but he could.
Either unit could kill it with the lead. Doesn't matter. Oh no, the shadow couldn't.
The shadow could not, in point of fact. Well, no, the shadow could, but no, the shadow can. It has a move and attack.
That's correct. Well, it could do the empowered move, and it could do the attack, right?
Right. It's just sad if it has to do that.
So he must be moving the shadow?
What?
I mean, that's what that would be.
He stunned was... Oh, okay, yeah, you're right, that is what that is.
But he didn't move it.
Yeah, okay. No, he doesn't need to move because that was an attack.
Oh, he did the attack. Never mind.
Yeah, that's what he did. Sorry, that comes up so rare.
I know.
And in my experience, that ends up coming up so rarely, I forgot about it. Yes, well done. So, what was he worried about that he wanted to do that?
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if maybe Thera ruined his
it
plan
could
by
be
stunning the wizard.
It could be Jim does not have a lead, and he did not want to risk the ooze moving forward one and putting goop onto everything.
Maybe.
That could
maybe
be what
he
that
really
was.
wants that card draw space.
That could also be, I suppose.
Now I'm wondering if he's going to move that soldier up onto the card draw space. If he has the order to do it. That would the soldier then be protecting the shadow and the wizard. Oh. He is doing shadow shenanigans.
He attacked?
He attacked the knight. Did the same thing he did with the...
Oh, yep. I see now. Yep. I totally forgot he gave me an attack in that direction for some reason.
Is this it? Is this the turning point where people start to realize the shadow is good?
I think the problem is I will 100% agree with you that shadow is good, and I keep wanting to figure out how to actually play it well. But I think it's still just a weird unit to learn how to play well, and I think that's why it's going to still see not the most play.
Yeah. But now I'm glad I'm streaming this one because I see just two. He's really put Thera off the positional game at least.
Yeah.
With very little cost to himself, he is really dominating the pyre.
Although I want to say, if anyone was this good at card counting, I'm certainly not. Do we now know that Jim has no horizontal movement outside of the jump one?
He has played 2 of them, so that's all there are of the standards. There's only 2 of these in the deck.
So he no longer has any horizontal moves, so he probably still has the 1 horizontal jump, I suppose.
Well, he does still have... Right, and then he has the 1 space horizontal. So let me put those up on the screen.
Okay, right.
So he's got this one.
But both of the jump ones, right?
Right. For 2 space jump, and then this one for a 1 space move or a diagonal jump. It's part of the reason I put them in there, so it was a little bit harder to really predict what options your opponent had open.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of which, is that one of those? Speaking of which, that is one of the cards you just put on screen.
Yes, it is. Okay. So the assassin's taken advantage of the diagonal jump and has stealthed. So Jim
Shadow cannot. Yeah.
Right, he cannot do shadow shenanigans on that one to attack it and make it go away. And Jim only has 1 action left. Still has presence. Thera has the card draw. It's going to be pretty hard. Well, he might conceivably...
It would need the tactic to tie, I think. Because right now,
Yeah, I really can't see. Actually, there's no
Jim's
way.
at 3.
And actually, even with a stolen plans, he can't get his spy
And
master.
he just had night jump at that.
Yep. Okay, but Jim gets the pyre.
Mm-hmm.
Thera gets the card draw as a consolation prize.
Wizard is no longer gooped.
Wizard's no longer gooped. Jim's general gains a health, so a little bit more survivability. But
Thera also takes initiative.
Yep. So I'd say slight advantage to Jim here. But Thera's units are probably a bit more positioned for the next pyre.
Since neither of them lost a unit, I would agree that it's slight advantage, Jim. If one of them had lost units one of them would only have one tactic, and that would change potentially, and that would change that calculation. But seeing as they'll probably both have 2, and actually, sorry, 3, neither of them use their tactic. I think that does work out as a slight advantage, Jim, if you can take advantage of it. Yeah. Or not, Jim.
And this pyre, I would actually say slightly advantages Thera, but not tremendously advantages Thera.
Mm-hmm. But that plus the card draw may be enough to give him a good round.
Yeah, and we have not seen a stolen plans from Thera yet either.
True, actually.
So he's got the card draw, and he may get 1 or 2 stolen plans off. If Jim can keep his leader away from the spy master, he may be able to prevent him from getting the card draw off of those.
I say right now it's pretty hard to do because right now it is the horizontal stolen plans can go one space to the flag and be in the zone.
Correct. Diagonals.
The diagonal, yeah, no.
Given this position, but of course we got a lot of plays between now and then.
Indeed, especially since Thera has +1 guard.
Yep.
For all we know, he could. It's entirely possible that he draws both stolen plans this turn.
Absolutely possible, with 6 card draws out of 10 left.
And the fact that
likely. It's very likely.
And if one of them is a stolen plans, he could even draw into the second stolen plans.
Exactly. So at this point, I gotta think that Jim's my primary concern is really keeping his general away from the spy master, preventing those card draws. Because if you can really nullify those stolen plans, you've really hurt your opponent.
Mm-hmm. Now, if Thera gets incredibly unlucky and draws neither stolen plans this turn, they both miss the shuffle.
Right.
It's worth noting. So
popping a stolen plans onto the screen.
Mm-hmm.
For the viewers, just to so if what we're talking about is if Thera can't, when he plays that card, if he can't get his spy master in the zone of Jim's general, he does not get to draw a card. Jim, I would hope, is paying attention and realizes that he might have a stolen plan, so will hopefully be trying to keep his general away from the spy master. It's a little tricky. The stolen plans does have good movement in terms of how far it can go, but it doesn't provide a jump, so there are still ways around it.
Yeah. Although Thera does have initiative here, not the flag in the wrong spot. So I'm sure I point that to them actually. But okay, so that's an infiltrate, isn't it?
That is an infiltrate. Who is he backing? Or is he stealthing? He looks like he's attacking.
I was going to say he could do if he was lucky, he could do a turn 1 stolen plans and Jim couldn't avoid it. But it looks like he went for turn 1 infiltrate instead.
Let's see. Oh, he did it on the general, and Jim ate it. He didn't tank it with his soldier.
I don't disagree with that analysis, actually.
I agree. Oh, we have now got our first tactic. That assassin might be going down. Let's see.
Charge, empowered charge.
I love it. Hits all 4. He's targeting the ooze, splashes onto the knight, onto the life leech, and onto the spy master.
And stabs the assassin as well. With the incidental charge. Or, hardly incidental charge, the required charge.
Right.
I assume he probably wants to not move away from the general, though. Okay. So he is not worried about the fact that general's taking damage right now.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I am the proponent of the health as a resource. I don't care if you hurt me as long as I can keep an eye on it.
Absolutely. The trick is, again, it's a resource that your opponent has more control over than you do. So there is a point where you need to start being very careful about how you spend it, or even one more health.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think you and I discussed this. Once you get to around 5 or 6 damage, you got 5 damage. You got to start to worry.
Yeah.
Less than 5, you can play a little bit more fast and loose.
Yeah. I do think what it could be. Maybe he has 2 diagonal moves in his hand, and that lines him up for 2 units that can just immediately go to the flags, potentially.
Yep. There we go. He's dropped a defense token on the soldier and the wizard from the take ground.
Take ground, yeah.
Which again is, one of those cards that will probably be toned down in the next tournament season.
Were you going to tone it down to not dropping defense tokens?
Yes.
Okay. Makes sense. The wizard move. He must have, right?
Yeah, he did the empowered charge using the.
Right. I'm trying to remember if it actually moved.
Yeah, it was an A2 before. It went from A2 to A3.
I frankly couldn't remember. So. That's not a legal position for that soldier then.
Why is that? The soldier started at C2.
Charge before friendly unit discharge. Right?
Yeah, but I don't think it affects anything. He was at C2.
It's zone, right? If the soldier charges to D2, that's out of wizard zone. Right?
Right, after the charge. Is Thera affected by units in the way?
I'm going to point that out.
Hold on. Place a target.
Well, you can answer that question first, and I'll ask the other one.
Yeah, good catch.
Yeah.
Because he did it in the wrong order, it threw everything off.
I can kind of understand why he did it in the wrong order, because the soldier's movement was sort of irrelevant to what he actually appeared to be doing.
But if he moved the soldier to... Yep, there we go. He fixes it that way.
That's not legal. That would be out of range. That's the choice, I believe.
Yep, there we go.
That doesn't. I knew it was certainly legal, but that specific position was not. And it was just me wandering through random thoughts. I'm gonna guess.
Honestly, I think I prefer the soldier at B1 anyway.
because you can keep protecting this generally, yeah.
And also because then the soldier itself can't be backstabbed.
True. And speaking of defending the general, yep. he took the name of the soldier that time.
Right. I personally am very happy. This is the game where unsung units of Pyre are getting seeing more action, the Assassin and the Shadow.
Yeah. Although I think the Assassin's doing better in the second half. I've lost one game to it, and then the next game I did a lot of work with
Yeah, I
it
mean the
as
one
well.
health, the buff from 3 to 4 health was a big deal. It really helped it do its job. With the 3 health, it was very hard for it to do its job.
Yeah. Just too many things insta kill it.
Yeah. 4 health, you can be a little bit more aggressive with it, which is really what you need to be for the Assassin to be effective.
Mm-hmm. Since you are pretty almost inevitably closer to your opponent's side of the field than your own.
Yep.
Going on. Oh, wizard shooting moves.
Getting rid of those goop tokens.
And hitting Knight and Leech as well, I assume.
Yep.
Yeah, I haven't been tracking how much damage they've been taking, so I'm just going to assume that that's being tracked correctly on that.
Well, I've seen 2 damage on the Leech and 2 damage on the Knight, so I think we're good, because there have been 2 empowered attacks by the Wizard.
That sounds right, and I don't think I've been attacking anything else except for the Shadow.
And I gotta see, we're also seeing a lot more aggression from the Wizard this game than we usually see.
Mm-hmm.
Jim is really working to capitalize on that splash damage from the Wizard.
Yeah. Which I still like the mental picture of it's casting Blizzard and his own units are wearing Carcass.
I mean, you can use whatever mental picture you want. I will point out, however, that on the card it is particularly
called Arcane Blast.
It's called an Arcane Blast.
Yeah. That's definitely a better name than Blizzard. Blizzard would be confusing.
And it might get me sued.
I don't think it could,
No,
because
I'm joking. It would not get me sued.
Yeah.
The word.
Well, even aside that, I'm fairly sure there are already multiple games that you have the spell Blizzard.
100%. But any chance I get to take a shot at Activision, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, is it one particular game where Blizzard just like my favorite spell in the game it just nukes such a wide range.
Oh, it's and honestly my first, back when I very first played World of Warcraft 2, I think it was, there was a Blizzard spell which was one of my favorites.
Nice.
Back when it first came out, because I'm old. Alright, so no one has any presence yet.
This is true.
This is turning into this round is the first round was a bit more positional. This one's a little bit more aggressive.
And in point of fact, with the general stunned, it's going to be a little difficult to get a lot of stuff to those flags for Jim. So Thera might just be able to take it incidentally at the end of the round.
Yeah, he might. And Jim, he has it, especially with his action advantage. And we still
did Jim discard a card, or did Jim use his token to play the tactic?
I don't know.
So token is not flipped.
Token is not flipped. Thera has 4 from 6. Jim has 2 from 5. So it looks like Jim spent a card. Right? Oh wait, Thera went first.
I'm just going to ask because he's going to try and do the math.
Jim is now trying to figure out himself if he discarded a card.
The Wizards attacked. I want to say he ended up discarding a card, but I'm not sure of that.
I'm not either. I think he did, but I'm not. I can't swear to it. Let's see. He's got 7 in his discard. Thera has 8. Thera had initiative, and he just played. So that sounds right. right?
Yeah, sounds right. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so
An interesting choice. I don't know why you wouldn't just spend the token every time. I've tried to figure that out before. I've tried to think in the past why you would ever not spend the token, and I've yet to come up with one unless you're like literally saving, unless you're like loading up actions for the following round, like the entire following round. I guess.
I don't know.
I suppose it could be Jim has given up on having any kind of decent tactic or action count this round and is just loading up for next round.
That could be. I mean, I've seen it being very effective occasionally when you have two control tokens in the next round in a round, and you can play them both. That, of course, requires him to get the pyre again.
Right. And to be fair, I say it's hard. It can actually be done. General lead up to the flag, double move the shadow.
Yeah, it can be done.
Is 4 points all on its own. And then you can night jump the wizard into danger, I guess.
Yeah, the tricky part is that Thera pretty much has this initiative space in good shape.
Lock. No, except for a night jump or a teleport.
Yeah, but even then you're surrounded.
Yeah, it's not a good plan. It's merely a plan.
Right. And that's and the card draw doesn't give presence. So.
Right.
I mean, even with no pyre, Thera has the presence advantage right now just by position and the sheer number of actions he has left.
Is there any chance that Jim has adapt in his hand? I feel like not. Right.
I mean,
the shapeshifter's just in no kind of position for adapts. I feel he'd be coming with something if he was going to be adapting.
Well, don't forget he still has the hawk form. So it would
he can move.
Take one maneuver to put him in any number of positions and prepare for the adapt.
Yeah, fair. I guess any maneuver would in fact be enough, as I say that. As you say that.
Yeah, I mean that really is the beauty of the shapeshifter and the hawk.
Although if he does that, it pretty much guarantees that he's not taking pyre at that point.
If I'm in Jim's position, I've given up on pyre.
Yeah, it's fair. And we've seen one lead, right?
I don't.
From last round? No. We were contemplating things he could do with the lead. That's right. We haven't seen one this round yet either. So.
And we haven't seen the plans either. There's the goop lab.
Stun general. Okay. Predicting a lead. Maybe just trying to avoid getting away. Stun the general and goop it. I think we'll figure that out.
He has got two goop tokens left on that ooze. It's starting to really power down.
Although the question at that point is, will Jim be the kind of player who leaves it alive, or be the player who kills it for board positioning?
Yeah, there's a really good argument in both directions. Rat and I had this discussion. He felt you wanted it to die, and my feeling was, you may, but also just having a unit on the board that your opponent doesn't want to kill is effective. You can put it onto a control space, and then either you take it and kill my goop, and I bring it back with all of its goop, all of its ooze next round.
Yeah.
Or you give me the presence.
Right. So just to be clear, Rat thinks you shouldn't kill it because I think I might have misheard you.
Rat thinks you should not kill it.
Right. That's what I thought. I seem to recall having been in that conversation with him as well.
And I don't
at some point or other.
I don't think that's always the right call. I think sometimes it might be the right call. I don't think it's that cut and dried.
Yeah.
Especially since you can return it to the board by paying goop tokens. Yes, they can bring it back, but it will have fewer goop tokens if they use that option.
Right.
Okay, so we got a knight move here.
So you jumping.
Up, he's moving to use his shadow.
Oh. You can move it through stuff?
Yes, that was one of the questions they asked, because if you look, you'll see Thera
Oh.
eyes. It's a place. It's not a move. You place it 2 spaces.
Oh, that's right. I do remember that discussion a while back. I assume your point was so no one would try to use abilities on movement. But I guess that would be another reason too.
The main reason. This is just an interesting side effect, which I think again makes a shadow a very interesting unit.
Yeah, actually. Use judo on a bunch of goop.
The thematic reason being that they're just terrified, and they're just charging through anybody to get away.
Including the thing scaring them.
Yes. So I didn't say they were smart.
I mean,
they thought it through.
I mean, it's a bunch of ooze who said they had a brain.
Yeah. So.
Maybe it was like Bob from Monsters vs. Aliens. A movie I rewatched earlier today, and it's still funnier, still better than it has any right to be.
Been a long time since I've seen it. All right.
I noticed more one-liners this time around that I hadn't noticed the first time. Like, we are evacuating the city. Please keep moving. Exact change is appreciated but not required. Because they're passing through a toll gate.
Right. I have to say, I don't know how to evaluate this position.
Now, I remain in the opinion that Thera is almost guaranteed to take Pyre at this point.
Yeah, it's just it would be really hard for him not to. I think.
In general, Jim might still have a diagonal lead in his hand, but even then,
our first casualty.
Was that a spy master? Was that what happened?
Let me see. I want to.
Spy master, sun soldier, attack soldier. Is that what happened? Or it might have been a straight up horizontal attack. Actually,
I think it was just an assassin attack.
Yeah, my mistake. Right, I see your card is now. Oh, there is attack.
Attack. That is going to be brutal with the wizard. If he pulls it off. So he does a charge attack. He does a charge attack.
Which forces the ooze somewhere.
Yep. Interesting.
I like it. Well, I kind of like it. I think it's either that or straight down.
Who does the second one? It's got to be the wizard, because that's the only other choice he has.
True.
So it's just got to be a ping on the spy master, which is not that big a deal.
But he might move as well, though.
He might. It's true, but where's he going to move to?
Actually, no. He can do better than that. If he can move knight to c4 and ping the knight, or wizard to c4, strike the knight, which also pings the spy master.
That's true. Good cut.
Yeah. Or for that matter, he could even go like he could ping assassin instead of spy master if he wanted to for some reason, but that's still only one ping. Which
I feel like he wants the wizard in that position. He might be setting up for a teleport, maybe.
Maybe some sort of weird astral gate. I had to believe. But yeah, I think he wants to. I think that's the position he wants to be in. Otherwise, I think c4 is the better place to go.
Well, he could do astral gate. That's true. He has the tactics for it.
Teleport. So he could be planning. He could be queuing up, say, teleport to G3 and strike the leech, or teleport to F3 and strike the knight to also strike the spy master.
Possibly.
Which, though, at that point, I still say going to C4 is better because you can teleport to E4 and do the same attack again.
And honestly, if you have teleport, the closer to the center you are, the better.
Yeah.
Because it really maximizes your options. The more closer to the edge of the board you are, you lose options with teleport.
I'm struggling to see why he'd rather be at A3. Unless he just didn't see C4, which is entirely possible.
Could be.
And again, he could also just be smarter than either of us and have some amazing thing queued up he couldn't do from C4.
Could be. He's got, we don't know what that last tactic is.
Mm-hmm.
If he can use it to seize the pyre this round, that's going to put him in a really good position. Being up two control tokens really puts the pressure on Thera. All right.
Maybe he can do some sort of funny lightning bolt.
So we got a burrow here. Classic burrow.
With no leech?
Which is straight up 2 damage.
Yeah, I guess.
Pretty weak burrow. But it does put the leech in that position. Puts a lot of pressure on the general.
And there's only like one spot soldier can come back and protect the general easily.
Yep.
Although, you could also come at D1 and move the general and move the soldier with it as well pretty easily in theory.
Alright, so we're getting an empowered move from the general, it looks like.
Probably just some maneuver.
Of some sort.
Probably just some maneuver then.
Yep. That's gotta be. Oh. Took
wait.
damage. Wait, no, what?
Doesn't make sense.
Oh, he took an extra damage from the attack, which gets rid of the goop token.
No, it doesn't. It's not. Burrow's not empowered.
When a unit other than the ooze of the goop token takes damage, increase the damage by 1.
They're just straight up damage, not an empowered attack.
Yep.
Oh, I thought it was an empowered attack. That's why I've been playing it. Okay.
Yeah, so that goop,
Actually, does that make ooze better or worse? It's gotta be better, right?
Well, I mean, you get the damage, but you lose the ooze, the goop. So.
Well, but I'd assume that the extra damage is only on an empowered attack, right, not just taking damage.
Kind of a trade-off. The goop doesn't stay as long, but it's easier to do the extra damage.
Right. Which, fun fact, also means that it could lose the goop to a warding pyre, in theory.
So Jim has won the pyre again.
Even with all Thera's extra move.
Yep.
We did not see a stolen plans.
No.
Did we?
So Jim still has another lead. Thera has 2 stolen plans coming up.
Both of which missed the shuffle. Because Thera has the shuffle right now.
Yep.
Well, that's...
So it's interesting. Jim's got to take in a lot of damage. He can easily bring his soldier back. He's got a tactic left. Thera has 2 tactics left.
Who has initiative? Thera's initiative?
It's like Thera. I think Thera had initiative before. They just didn't move the token.
Right. Yeah, I was trying to remember if anyone was taking it, but no one did. So... Let's see. Cases where Jim is just dead.
4 damage away.
Gravewalk. Gravewalk. Jim is just dead.
That would be true if the shadow wasn't his unit.
Sorry. Yep. I can't read apparently.
Well, the burrow's gone. In the current position, he can't do a slip. Thera can't do a slip behind because the wizard is blocking it.
Burrow's gone. Burst and Parasite don't kill immediately.
Knight is just way out of position.
Yeah.
I mean, I gotta say, he's also gonna bring his soldier back. He's bringing his soldier back to 1A. He has to.
True.
Which means he's gonna buy 1 more tactic, so he'll have 2 tactics. The assassin has 2 health left. The leech has 2 health left. you know, Jim's got some answers here. He might be able to clear out. If he can
Oh, sure.
clear out the Leech and the Assassin, he's in good shape.
Oh, sure. I was just trying to see if there's a world where Jim had no counterplay because Thera just has tactic and wins instantly.
Not with,
I don't.
not
Yeah, I
with
don't think
the
there
soldier
is.
back on 1A. And if he doesn't bring the soldier back on 1A, he deserves to lose.
Because there's no one preventable available to him, and none of those units push except for the knight who's way out of position.
Right. I mean, honestly, if he gets rid of the assassin, it's already in good shape. Burrow's gone. The life leech has no leech tokens on him, so it's a couple turns before he's a threat.
Yeah.
So the biggest threat is the assassin. If he gets rid of the assassin, the ooze has only one token left on him.
Although, so Thera has initiative. Assassin can just stab it straight up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if Assassin stabs the general, and
well, he can't stab it right away because
Thera's initiative.
Right. So yes, the assassin has charge on it, but keep in mind the charge does not trigger the
oh, sorry. Soldier coming back on 1A. Soldier coming back on 1A.
Yeah, of course.
Sure. Although,
and also the
assassin
stab doesn't really do a whole lot because he needs to move to trigger his activations, not charge.
Talking about the Spy Master?
Spy Master. That's what I meant. Yeah.
I was saying Jim could.
Saying assassin, and I was thinking Spy Master. So
okay.
Please ignore me.
The real answer is Soldier comes back on 1A, so what I'm saying didn't matter.
Correct.
If for some reason Soldier doesn't come back at 1A, like it should, Assassin can just straight up stab the General, or even worse, Spy Master move, stun General, Assassin stabs General, and now you have a stunned General at 2 health.
And stunned.
Right. And at that point, Parasite just kills, Assassin just kills.
Yeah. No. He's got to bring his soldier back.
Yeah. Jim seems to be waiting to see what Thera does, I assume.
Yep.
Come on, Jim, where's your soldier?
There we go.
Thank you.
Okay. So Thera's got to, he's got to play his stolen plans right now, I would think.
Yeah, it seems reasonable.
Bring his stolen plans, bring his spy.
Actually, so Generals could still be in trouble. Stolen plans up 1 tile, stun soldier, stab, sorry, that helped me, ignore what I'm saying.
Stun soldier. Right.
Stun soldier and stab it with leech, but the general's still at 4 health. And so the general has a chip. The general can't really the general really can't run away very easily because he's not Spy Master. If he runs to right for me, he's still within Assassin's attack range. He can move up and he's next to Spy Master, and he has risk a ransack or something.
Yeah, so actually no matter what he does with stolen plans, stun the general, the soldier can tank. Stun the soldier, the attack has to be on the soldier.
Yeah. Although if he's stunned the soldier, if he does that, then he has more options for the follow-up turn.
Correct. But it gives Jim a turn at least to see if he can get rid of that assassin or do something about it.
Yeah.
Like a Grave
Which
Walk
would be... I thought Grave Walk was a unit that was jumped over.
But the final step of Grave Walk is any adjacent unit takes 2 unpreventable damage.
Right, okay, yes. That's right. I remember now. I played Grave Walk like literally once, so... I'm not sure if I've ever had it played against me, in fact. So it's not a card text I have memorized quite as well.
Particularly nasty card if you can pull it off.
Yeah. I was kind of like the other day. I think if you assume a standard, I want to say Grey Walk might be the most dangerous single target card in theory.
3
because
stun.
Actually worse than that, because if you also assume standard, you also get one from just Shadow's innate as well. And it's also a push.
Yeah.
So if the push runs into something else, then it's even more unpreventable. So it's actually like, if you had a standard, you can just straight up do 5 unpreventable straight up and stun. In theory. I'm not sure. I don't think you'll ever see it, but like it's a thing that could be done, which I think arguably makes it the most dangerous single target card in the game.
It's quite brutal.
So it looks like he's seeing if Soldier's going to tank, maybe.
I mean, the soldier's going to tank.
Yeah, it has to. Yeah. And it's going to have to tank again next turn and just die, probably, unless he has an advance. Which, actually, I take that back. We know he doesn't.
Right.
We know for a fact that the advance is not in his hand.
He has not shuffled yet.
So, unless he spends an action to move forward 1 space, which, I mean, I guess he could do, Soldier will probably just die in the next action. Because he'll probably tank again and die. Which, I mean, might be an argument to go ahead and move up 1 space, buy yourself a little more time.
Time to play a tactic if you have a good one. Interesting.
Okay, teleport. It's a little nasty, I guess. Stuff's still alive, though.
Okay, well, it's damage on the assassin, the life leech, and the spine.
It's not empowered.
No, it's not empowered. Just damage on the life leech. Right.
That was actually my first thought too, and I was like, wait, no.
Right, not empowered.
The real question is, do we forget as much because it's just what we assume, or do we forget that Standard Bearer is a unit that exists and can cause these things to just not matter?
I was just wondering if maybe the Standard Bearer seems to have fallen out of favor a little bit in the new tournament rounds, and I'm wondering if situations like this might make people rethink that.
Maybe I shouldn't say this. I am starting to be a really big fan of High Priest Standard Bearer comp.
I think it's a good combination. I really do. I think you could really get a lot out of it. I mean, again, it's not quite as good as it used to be since the Standard Bearer can only trigger once per turn.
Yeah.
Ooh, Parasite.
But even then, I don't remember if you saw me noticing. You were commenting the last VOD where I lost to Jim that the leech was actually safe because what in the world could he do? His stuff's not in enough position. The Thera was in a place where I could have actually done 2 damage and stun it twice in a row, and it was just dead because of the standard.
You can't stun twice in a row.
Well, 2 turns in a row, and then the second turn doesn't matter because it's dead because it takes 2 damage again.
I love it.
General, run away. Harry exists.
Wouldn't kill it.
Does he die?
Maybe.
No.
It
wouldn't, but it would stun it and be. It would take 2 damage and be stunned.
Yeah.
And
but Gim gets a card draw out of this, so let's see what he does.
Yeah.
That was a lead, I think.
I think at this point, in theory, if Thera has Harry Joust in his hand somehow,
yeah,
I think Thera just wins. Harry stun the general and your movement move 1 away and run back to 3.
Still has a move left from the Astral Gate.
True. Okay. Yes, I forgot about that. I always forget about that effect because I kind of don't care about it myself. Usually,
it's pretty important.
Yeah, but I'd often rather just stall. Okay, so he doesn't die to impale. He doesn't die to impale, but he's in fear if Thera has impale.
Life Leech is dead. 1 more damage on the assassin. One more damage on the Spy Master, which is pretty irrelevant at this point, I think.
Is that a lead? Is that what that is?
Yep.
Okay, that's why. Yep, makes sense.
And then he still has the General's innate, with which I think he's going to kill the assassin.
Using Shadow, I assume?
Using the Shadow
Yeah,
attack.
Shadow attack. Shadow attack. Just a normal attack. That would do it.
Oh, the assassin's not dead. I thought the assassin had 3 damage when it only had 2.
Right, okay, yes. Because... I think that's because it teleported didn't do any shit.
Yep.
I think that's why.
Okay.
No, it is dead. We were right.
Okay. So if he can now
He just hadn't taken the damage yet.
if he can survive the next turn, he's in a really good place.
I want to say it might be guaranteed that he survives the turn, but there is a world. It's very possible he'll be left at 1 hit point. Yeah, that's true.
Interesting.
There is just verifying that normal shadow attacks still do damage.
Yep.
Because people always fear Impaling is going to do 5 damage, but it can also just do 3 damage, and that's pretty bad in this situation as well.
2 damage.
3. Right.
It's 2 damage for the ranged attack, and then 3 for the intervening.
Did I say Impale? I meant that card.
Harry.
No, that's Harry. I meant Joust.
Ah. Oh, yeah. Joust for just 3 is still pretty good.
Actually, wait, does that just kill?
Push
1,
stuns for 2.
2, 3. It doesn't kill, but it is stunned.
Yeah, it just does 2 damage.
Plus the push damage. Plus the push damage. Attack and direction movement, plus attack, plus push damage. And stunned. So it takes 3 damage and is stunned.
Yeah, this is...
So General's left at 1. Which is actually worse than the Joust theory I was proposing a moment ago.
The stun.
And then...
That's probably going to be game, unless he can do something about that knight.
I don't see what he can do. Talent Strike, I guess. Well, no, actually. Because if he does something about the knight, Spy Master just kills.
Well, if the Spy Master has a diagonal attack, but we actually...
He can charge.
We know he has we know he has the other stolen plans, which gives you a horizontal charge.
Yep, and that just kills. He somehow has to do something about both Knight and Spy Master. And I think it's a fairly safe bet that Thera is going to set himself up so the Knight can kill somehow. General only took 2. Well, we don't have to tell. Technically, attack and direction movement is optional, right? Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
General should have taken 1 more damage than it did.
Right.
But they don't seem to realize that, so I see no reason to tell them since it's optional. But yeah. I would say Thera sort of throws the game by forgetting that, but also probably won't matter.
Yeah, I think he's going to win.
Yeah, exactly. Unless Jim can somehow do 8 damage faster than Thera can do 2, which doesn't feel likely. But yeah. They were in a situation there where Thera's in a position where General should be at 1 hit point in this game, pretty much. But they forgot, so it'll probably take a couple extra turns.
Yeah, and I still have to say I do think Harry is one of those problematic cards. I need to figure out a better way of making it work, of making it clear what it does.
Because you think the innate's too easy to forget about?
Because the timing is very odd. Because you do the move and then the attack, and then the other attack, the timing is kind of weird. It opens up this odd window because you have two move followed up by attacks. Which one takes? Because technically you'd resolve the card, the tactic first. So actually, I think by timing, I think they resolved it correctly because you resolve the card fully, and then you resolve the innate. And rules as written, the timing window for that move has passed. So you could do your second move with an attack on the Harry, but your first one, you don't even get to the innate yet, and by the time you get to the innate, that move is gone. That move is in the past. That makes sense?
That feels...
This is why I'm saying I don't like the way the card is written.
Yeah. Here's what I will say. I don't entirely agree with the way that... I guess I need to read the exact wording, but in my mind, what you're describing, moving queues up both attacks, which take precedence over later queues.
But, yes, and the rules specifically say you resolve a card fully before going to the innate. So
I think there are multiple ways you can interpret that.
Exactly.
In theory,
and that's
which is why. So I would interpret that as you do the card attack, then the attack in the direction of movement.
Right.
And then you take care of the rest of the card
I think it's
effects.
perfectly valid to interpret it the other way, and this is why I don't like the way I have it worded right now.
That's fair.
It leaves it too vague. In fact, we may have even had a discussion on the board about this, and I don't even remember it. It's the fact that they had.
I am pretty sure there has been a game where I have played Harry, assuming that you can do 2 attack and direction movements.
Yeah.
I am fairly sure that.
Oh, is Jim contemplating a tactic?
I'm pretty sure you were watching that game because you're like, "Ooh, that's a great use of Harry." And then there's also the game where I did absurd stuff. I just did broken stuff, which kills Knight.
Kills the Knight, which is just devastating for Thera.
You stab General. Spymaster can still stab General for 1.
Mm-hmm. But then the General wakes up.
Yeah. Spymaster still has 8 hit points, though.
Yeah, but if he can get the Pyre, that's all he needs.
Okay, true.
And the Ooze.
But
for
Thera has 2 stolen plans in hand? Question mark.
Yeah, but the trick is going to be if Jim can just keep his General away from the Spymaster. That's all he needs. It's going to be very hard for the Spymaster to kill it.
Whose turn is it? Is it Thera's turn?
Yeah, it's Thera's turn.
So Jim has last move. Sans stolen plans shenanigans.
But there's going to be stolen plan shenanigans.
But he can charge. He can charge.
If he can.
He can charge. He can charge instead, though. If you wanted the damage.
Get the first attack off, but then Jim gets to run away, and the charge attack from the stolen plans is only 1 space.
Alright, let me read them. So, charge you damage to 1, General's at 1, Jim takes a turn and runs away. Other stolen plans chases after it and draws a card.
Yeah, it's the card draws that could do it. If he might.
And then Jim has a turn, but that still gives Thera last turn.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. So.
Because we haven't seen either stolen plans, right? I'm not just dumb.
I don't think so. No. And that might be what saves the game for Thera right now. Actually, you're right. Just the extra actions, but they need to be to kill the General.
Again, the way I interpret Harry, this doesn't even come up. But
right.
That's a separate issue.
But the intent of Harry is to work the way they played it, and
Okay, so you actually intend that you don't get to
right, you don't charge
do
attack
two.
attack. Yeah, and that no, you could get the bonus attack off of the second one because again the first move is already gone, so you can only trigger off the second attack. You don't get two attacks after triggering Harry.
I've always assumed that was intended because that felt good for the card. But I guess that might just be me.
I think the push and the stun is plenty, and the extra move.
I guess.
I mean, it's effective. It's more situational.
It's not too situational because you can always just push and then follow in that direction movement anyway. You just get one. It just is a one less max damage.
You're talking 3 damage with a push and a stun and two movements of your choice.
Okay, so you must use stolen plans and we're just dumb.
Huh? Maybe.
So I assume that was Thera stalling? Question mark?
Well, honestly,
Oh!
Jim either has to move off of the flag space. He can't do that. Okay.
But Spy Master can move to the flag. And
he gets the pyre.
Right. I think Jim would have one more move unless that was a Stolen Plans card. But the most he could do is tie because how far out of position his units are.
Yeah, what does Thera have left? He's got to have the Stolen Plans, right? But which Stolen
Plans? Unless we're just super dumb and we somehow have not seen them. Yeah.
Which Stolen Plans is it?
I mean, we'd know if we could even remember when the first one was played.
Yeah, I wish I could search the decks, but I can't.
Yeah.
Unless he played it, he just wasn't able to trigger the draw, so we missed it.
That could be. I'm sure someone's laughing at us in the future right now as we're just super confused about what happened to the first Stolen Plans. Yeah, I'm talking about you, person I don't know. Alright, that's enough fourth wall breaking.
So
yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Okay, so
plans.
And draws a card.
Somebody.
Probably General?
Probably.
I like General. I like General stun. And he draws a card, and he currently has Pyre.
Yes.
And he'll have the last move.
Did he not draw a card? He did not draw a card.
I'll just ask. Card draw is required, right? Technically?
Yes.
The stun's optional, so I'm not going to point that out. But
yeah,
he should stun the general, but that's a separate issue. Unless he's playing some sort of super mind game where he wants the general to move so he can kill it with a goop tactic or something absurd like that.
In this case, I'm thinking Jim, if he can. What?
That's not legal. Let's stun that. There you go. I still say I like general stun, but there you go. That's at least legal.
What the heck? They just removed
someone just yeeted Thera's backbone thing. Which also tells me all of that stuff is physics locked. I never noticed before. Did they just physics lock it
I don't know.
up there? Or is someone rewinding, maybe? I think it just physics locked it up there.
It's alright.
Okay then. So it's Jim's move. What do you do with your last action? Knowing that Thera just top decked something.
Honestly, if I'm Jim, I'd go for initiative.
I think so, yeah. The next question next is Goot with Spymaster or with Shapeshifter.
Shapeshifter. Shapeshifter's gooped.
Shapeshifter isn't Goop. Wizard's Gooped.
There's a goop token on the shapeshifter.
Oh, I can't read. Sorry, yes. Which means the wolf doesn't matter. Not that that really matters in this situation.
How does he switch? Because you can't switch.
That was the adapt.
Oh, that was from before? Okay.
Apparently. Notice that he just searched through his deck and adapts now on top.
Oh, I see. That's why I was wondering why I was searching through the deck. Okay. That makes
When
sense.
I saw him change tokens, I was like, he must have forgotten about adapt or something.
Okay, we got a
Oh.
lead.
We totally could have known that if we were better at counting.
Yeah, counting to 2 is challenging.
Apparently. And then empowered moves Shapeshifter to whatchamacallit?
Power to attack the goop. Takes
Initiative?
The goop.
Oh, and then moves to initiative.
Does he kill the goop?
Maybe it was out of game when we forgot about it.
Oh, yeah, the last goop got spent on the shapeshifter.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah, that ties fire. And there's nothing Thera can do about that.
Yeah, it's a shame he couldn't actually get onto a point.
Yeah.
Well, this is when the goop's ability to come back by spending ooze tokens, by spending ooze. The ooze's ability to spend back by spending goop tokens is a big deal.
Yeah. Because that means Thera can bring back 3 of his units next turn rather than just 2.
But
It'll be a weekend.
All in the back line. He's used burst. I mean, he's used burrow.
Infiltrate could come around again, though.
Infiltrate.
As can trample.
Trample.
So what is Thera's last card? What was Thera's last card? Okay.
Yeah, he might have discarded it for energy, maybe?
Still in his hand.
No, I don't know.
Hell. Yeah, fair. The tactic's probably not even an assassin tactic. Or spinals tactic. Words.
So this is now round 4. Very interesting game.
Yeah.
Both at certain points we were both certain one of them had won.
I maintain that the way I play Harry, the game was over. But the way you apparently intend Harry to work.
Well, actually, no, because Jim would still be at 10 health, not 11. 10 damage, not 11. Even with your interpretation.
Oh, right. And he didn't have the stolen planes we thought he'd... Well, no, because he charged up. He just charges up for the kill.
Yeah.
Right? If you use the stolen plans to draw a card, you could just use the charge instead and kill it.
He could have.
That's why the game would be over. Let's see. So if Thera has initiative still, Thera still has initiative. That's actually pretty bad for him. And here's why. If Thera it's bad for Jim. If Thera draws infiltrate, if Thera draws infiltrate, the game is over.
Right, because Well, yes, because you can just put. Well, not quite.
Bring back assassin on B6. Infiltrate behind general. Kill it. Soldier
okay,
can't.
Yep, B6. That's right. There's the line. Okay.
Yeah. Look at me finally actually believing assassin a decent unit.
That extra health really made a big difference on it.
Yeah. Sadly, I still don't know what the two tactics are, because I only saw slip behind. I really need to know what they are. Regardless.
Yeah. Jim's biggest challenge now is he couldn't afford to bring back the soldier.
Mm-hmm.
With only 2 energy. He can only buy 1 tactic. Thera can bring back Goop, Ooze.
Wait, why
Absolutely
does
for it right now.
Why does Jim not have? Why can Jim not bring Soldier back?
Because it's.
How does he?
He only had 2 energy.
Oh, he was down to 0 at the end of last round.
Yeah.
Ah, verb. Okay, yes, that's good. I saw it sitting at 1, and I was like, hey, shouldn't he be gaining 2 money? But no, that means he's already spent the money because he just knows this what's happening. Okay, right. There's buying tactics. 2 tactics instead of a unit, I guess. I assume you can bring back 3 units, but I guess you bring back.
Bringing back knights. Okay, so he's probably got trample.
Probably. We don't know. No, we don't know if he is trample.
Well,
because that's an order.
In that position. Where he put the knight, he has trample, is my guess.
He cannot know that because that's an order. He has not drawn his orders yet.
He doesn't know that. He hasn't drawn yet.
Just as how that is a terrible position for the assassin. Because that assassin should be on B6. It should be on B7.
Well, it would also work there.
Okay, yep, no, you're right. My mistake. Yes.
Okay.
He can.
Pay the 2
My mistake.
To bring back Ooze.
Forward, men, for the glory of Rome, I guess.
I have not named the world. Yet.
Because there's the game.
There we go.
Called it. Although it's not like that's not unlikely anyway. It was actually more likely than not.
All right, let's hop on over.
Sounds good. Cool.
Your leader. And I think there was actually a way that I could have taken the Pyre in the last round. That was basically the only way I was going to win. I should have tried to play that out. Super close, though.
Super close. That was a really good game.
Nail biter.
Yeah.
And Thera remains undefeated.
Yep.
Oh.
Wow. That was a good test. To put it lightly. That was a fun one.
Ooze is ultra broken. Like, insanely broken. Ooze is like tier 0 now.
Think
Especially, yeah. I think just having I had to put 9 damage into that unit in order to kill it once. It absorbed 9 damage.
Well, that's
kind
not
of.
true, because it dropped a lot of goop tokens.
It dropped like 3 group tokens.
Okay.
So you dropped 6 damage.
Yeah, 6 damage, and it canceled 3 of my moves.
Yeah.
Go-
Goop may be maybe too good right now. I'm willing to concede.
The goop on the wizard is just kind of debilitating in a lot of ways because you can't do your thing, which is like I was trying to spray lots of damage out.
Except you can get it off by literally just doing an empowered move, which wizard doesn't care about anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I remember someone saying recently that being able to remove the goop token with maneuver was too easy, and therefore the ooze is not a good unit.
Exactly. Someone was saying that.
It's offset by the fact that it has so much health, I think. The fact that it has so much health just kind of makes it.
Was the counter argument that was presented to you.
kind of insane. Yeah.
And it's one at a time. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, this is the first iteration of this version of
Yeah.
Ooze, so it's.
Um,
I'm not surprised to find out it needs to be toned down.
I will say, Jim, it's or Jeff, it's way fun. It is a cool unit, and I like the mechanics way better than the original one. I think Garth is finally right that Ooze is very good. But yeah, it's very, very good right now.
Yeah, it's probably too good.
I brought back 3 units at the very end. I don't know
Yes.
if we all caught that, but that felt like pretty good.
Yeah, paying for Ooze, and that was paying with Goop, and that was absolutely the right move.
Yeah.
It's literally free.
Yeah.
Speaking of Garth, who won that game earlier?
Heber did.
There.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to suggest to you, did Garth take Ooze that game?
He did.
He usually does. You say it's too good. It might still end up being a 50-50 unit in win total.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not just looking at win percentage. I'm definitely looking at how they're being used in the games, because I definitely know
Of course.
some people, are just more effective with certain units than others.
Some people always win.
So
Cough, cough, Thera.
Yeah.
So I want to see it a little bit more, but yeah, I'm thinking that it's going to need to be toned down, probably. But I'm with you, Thera. I like the unit. I think it's a fun unit. So
Yeah.
I think
I just think like
there's ways to tone it down without getting rid of that aspect of it.
Even just giving it less Ooze would tone it down.
Knocking it down to 5 Ooze or something like that, which was where I wanted to put it, and I think someone talked me up to put it starting at 7.
With high probability, that was me, to be honest.
Yeah.
7's kind of nuts.
I think
not
it was you, actually,
well,
Giga.
Yeah.
Now that I remember.
This seems to be I seem to be a conversation that I remember.
Yeah, so I think I said 5 Ooze.
I think I was like, that feels like it's going to be not going to be able to do enough. I did not realize how fast
the other option, of course, is that each Ooze blocks 1 damage, and so if it takes 3, you have to remove 3. That might debilitate it a little bit too much. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But you'd have to use empowered attacks and tactics to do that, so maybe not.
the balancing act is right. Whether well, I mean, the fact that you only lose 1 at a time is just insane, and unpreventable damage doesn't go straight to it, which is also one of the reasons why it's so crazy at the moment. But
you can't deal multiple damage at one time. Like,
right, so it just does everything. The only thing it doesn't do is movement. It's a very slow unit to plot around. So I generally have had no luck with Shadow, and I thought you played very well with Shadow.
I thought you did really well with Shadow,
Moves
especially
were
in the
really
beginning.
good.
I thought that Astral Gate was kind of hot.
Yeah, it was good.
That was good.
Run away!
Yeah, I was close. I was literally 1 space away. Like, if I could only kill the guy and then move on to that 1 space, or if I had moved my leader onto the space. But it was right in, like, by your ooze, so I was kind of afraid of getting hit there.
So, Jim, what are your thoughts? What is your thoughts on the Shadow now that you've played it a bit?
I think it's good. Yeah.
Okay.
It's solid. I think what's the card? The order card.
Oh,
Soul Train?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is nuts. Like, this is actually bonkers. Like, holy shit, dude. Like, what? I think so. Any unit that can gain life in this way is just so good if you get this off before it dies.
Yes.
Like, and especially on the Shadow, this health means so much more.
Yeah, it's a whole
because it's an additional full hit. So this Shadow was, I think, my most questionable pick initially, I thought. Mostly I was like, oh, you can deal damage because you have a life leech, and you can deal damage because you have the assassin. So I'm like, okay, let me just get in your face with this, move you around a bunch so you can't get on the pyre and win. That was my thought process, and it almost did that. Yeah, it worked in round 1. Round 2 is pretty solid. I was just like, oh, you want to come up to me? Nope. Boop. And I think being able to move them, like, just so far away from the action is just so strong. Like,
especially with ooze. Ooze is so slow.
Yeah,
You
because
put him in the
slow.
corner and he
just does nothing. Yeah, after when he was put in the corner, I was like, okay, this is it for Ooze. Like,
it was funny because Ooze didn't matter for a while, and then suddenly he mattered a lot.
yeah.
And I didn't want to give the token away, but it seems like I have to.
You do have to.
Add
There's no May.
Yeah,
any number.
There's no May.
But it says add a goop to any number. Could any number be 0?
I
should
have
just say
never
all,
been
then?
one of those people who believes that any number includes 0. However,
Probably just say all.
I assumed that was optional, and just Goop Legend.
yeah, I probably need to reword that, and I think given the fact that the Goop token is such a big part of him, I think I need to probably strengthen the language to make it mandatory. That you give them all out.
Add a Goop token to every opposing unit
It's
adjacent.
not mandatory right now to give them all out. My intent was you give it to at least one.
So say like add a goop token to one or more opposing units adjacent to Ooze.
Yeah, that might be it. Because add a goop token
Yeah,
to
that'll
number
work.
doesn't, to me, adding a goop token to 0 is not adding a goop token. So, but from the game design perspective, yes, your language, Jim, would be much better.
The other thing just before we get too far from the tokens, the other interesting thing to then balance around is essentially, I don't think 7 feels like a bad number for it, but if you bump it way down and you start giving him out, when he respawns, there's just not going to be that many tokens potentially available, especially if you require them to be given out.
Right.
So again, there's an interesting economy to goop tokens, and in order for it to be a fun, good unit, like obviously it can't be as OP as it is right now, but there has to be some balance around it still being like
it's
very
tricky,
fun to
but
play.
It's there. I think
Which
that's
I believe-
an active.
Yeah.
Which I believe is why I thought the 5 wouldn't be enough.
That is what you said, and I thought it sounded reasonable at the time. So maybe there's another way to balance it. I don't know.
You could try 6.
Goop
and just see what
tokens
the
being
difference of 1 does.
I'm
Goop
just
tokens
enjoying the
being
fact
better
that Jim
than
thought the
defensive
Goop
tokens?
was bad, and now he thinks it's overpowered.
Yeah. Goop tokens being better than defensive tokens at defense is hilarious.
That's also true.
Yeah.
They're like super defense tokens.
Yeah.
It's like a situational defense token that either soaks as much damage as you want from one hit, or just denies your opponent an action in a lot of cases.
Yeah, so maybe I'm leaning towards, and I don't know. Well, we've got some time before the end of the tournament. Toward like you remove 1 goop token per damage that would have been dealt, or something like that.
Yeah.
See, that always seemed fair to me,
Yeah.
because then you can actually kind of hit it with, big attacks and expect to do something. But
yeah, I was worried it was going to make the Ooze too weak to do that.
Mhm.
But after watching this game, I don't think that's the case.
And it wasn't the case in Garth's game. Garth got to a very nice start, and then He-Bear played really well. Garth hit some bad variants where he had literally 3 turns to end a round in a row, and none of it lined up. And then so He-Bear played really well, but like it wasn't the fact that Ooze wasn't pulling its weight. Like Ooze was still doing work.
Did Garth lose to not having initiative again?
Say again?
Did Garth lose to not having initiative again?
I lost to not
Yeah,
having initiative.
I thought you were going to take it in that last round. I thought the last round. I'm not sure why you didn't just put your.
Yeah, I was debating between killing it and I should have put my shapeshifter on there and taken
That's actually
initiative.
That's what Gig and I were calling. We were saying you should put your shapeshifter on initiative.
Yeah, I take a damage. Let me think about this. So it's like I take a damage, which doesn't really matter, but it leaves your guy alive. Oh yeah, well,
Where do you take a damage from? Where do you take a damage from?
The pyre would move on to it.
Oh, right.
I guess what would happen would be I hit for 1 and then move on to the the space where the pyre is going to go.
Yeah.
I get initiative, we tie, I move one, and then as my first action, if I want, I could just kill your ooze, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is actually way better because
Yes.
the way it ran out, I got to bring him back for free.
Yeah, that's
power.
true. That's true.
Yeah. But
I mean, yeah.
you would also, if you're killing the ooze, you're not saving your general, so none of it matters. Like, your general has to go hide somewhere for
Yeah.
a very long time.
And which is interesting also because
Yeah.
it matters when you kill it. Killing it in the
So
beginning
much
of the
so.
round
Mhm.
is so much better than killing it at the end of the round.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, killing a unit in the beginning of the round is strictly better
Yes,
than at the end
but
of the
it's
round.
so much better.
Yeah.
It is, but it's so much better
Yeah.
with them with the ooze.
Yeah.
Soldier.
Soldier is a great example. Like, yeah, if it's got 1 health left, like, let it linger to the next round, slaughter it right away,
Yep.
and then go about your day. I don't know.
Soldier just existed to give +4 health to the general.
It was very
Twice.
effective.
Yeah, twice,
The
exactly.
only unit that didn't really seem to do much for you was the shapeshifter.
Yeah, that was more of a function of he was outside. Like, I kind of just had him as like an all-purpose unit. There were thoughts of, in the first round, just going in and trying to attack this guy, but I know that he could just jump away if he had the right card, so...
Right.
I was like, okay, Initially, I was more focused on getting that wizard setup going and trying to deal a lot of damage so that in the second round I could try to kill off all his dudes and then take the pyre. That was the intent, which I did accomplish, but not with enough health left, I guess.
Yeah. No. It was a really good game though. It was until the end of the third round.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't clear. But then when Thera still had initiative, we were like, oh, okay, that's probably... We were already thinking about what turn 1 move Thera was going to have that was going to kill you.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of them. Initiate, or whatever the one I played. Infiltrate is obviously just the Jin card, but Joust was on the way. Ransack was the one I held forever. I don't know.
Cool.
Lots of ways to try and...
Well, at least, like, Joust, you had to come over and get me.
Yeah.
Like, I was pretty far away from your units. It's just that Infiltrate is insanely good. Infiltrate is, like, one of the best orders in the game, I think.
I think Assassin's just very good now.
Yeah. Assassin having 4 health, like, the 3 to 4 is such an important, like, flashpoint.
Yes.
Like, having that additional health of, you know, for that survivability, like, you, like, the stealth is good, but it's like you don't really even need to use it a lot of the time because you have 4 health. You can just kind of jump in, attack, and then it's like, oh, I have this 2 damage dealer and I have 4 health, and it's like, haha, you have to run away or you die, basically. So...
Oh, yeah.
I think what it does, it lets him actually trade health for health. So you can do 2 damage, take 2 damage back, and...
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you still have to absorb 4 damage, whereas before the math always was to the assassin's disadvantage.
Right, yeah. And you specifically have to be in enemy territory, basically, in order to use the thing,
Right.
because you have to be behind the enemy. So it's, you know, he takes a lot of damage in the process.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
all right. Well, that was a really fun game to watch.
Yeah. True.
It was really exciting to the very end. So,
Mm-hmm.
congratulations, Thera.
Thank you.
Have you
Good game.
locked up first
Good
place
game.
now?
Technically not.
So
You'd have to,
you
like...
still have a chance.
That makes Thera 7-0, right?
Right.
Yeah, he'd have to, like, lose all 3 of his games.
If he loses all 3 of his
Actually
remaining
beat him.
matches, and I win all 3 of my remaining matches, I take first.
So let's see if it happens.
Oh, yeah?
If
Jacob
Thera,
versus Thera is the next big one.
if Thera loses 2 and I win all 3, we tie for first, I think.
Yeah.
What are you at, Giga? You're at 5?
Yeah, 5 and 2.
3 left?
So I have to...
So
we
I
gotta-
max out at 8 and 2. You min out at 7 and 3.
We're next. We're next week.
Yep, yes
Or
we
this
are.
Oh gosh, plan it at a time where I can stream it, please. That's
week. Yeah.
We will
This is
do our best. We will do so.
What is this, G3?
Jim.
Yeah.
Make yourself available somehow.
When is this?
to co-host Giga versus. I mean, not Giga. Yeah, Giga versus Thera next week.
When is it?
I don't know. Let's work.
We don't know.
Let's figure it out.
So the thing is, I'm busy like 4 out of 5 weekdays. So
Right.
unless it's ultra late, so
Um,
let's
I'm sure
see.
we can figure it out because I definitely want to stream it and I definitely want to co-host. It's so much fun to co-host. Speaking of which, we are still streaming, so thank you everyone
Yes,
who
we are.
watched, and
yeah.
thank you to the players, and thank you Giga for co-hosting, and everyone have a good evening.